Welcome back to Mad Scientist, and just a disclaimer before I start this video, I want to apologize to my buddy Adam and my buddy Greg. They came down last week and they helped me do a lot of work on the Supra, which is also what we're going to be working on today. And sadly, I want to apologize because in the middle of editing, my video got deleted, my footage got deleted. So guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to try and make up for it with this video. I'm going to try and cover everything we did. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so I know it's been a cool minute since you've seen the motor. And as you can probably tell, I've painted a lot of stuff. And I think it turned out really well. Also the timing covers, this is the lower. That's the upper. And I've also, check those out. I've obviously got to work on them. I'm polishing them right now. I started on this one. But these are the 7M GE valve covers. And I think they look way better than the GTE valve covers. So I decided I'm going to use those. So yeah, to go ahead and kind of start this stuff off, I'm going to show you what my buddy Adam did. This is the power cable to the starter because I'm relocating the battery, and he ran that through all the way through the firewall, and then we'll hide all this stuff, and it'll go, and the battery's gonna sit behind the driver's seat, and I still need to run the battery cable from the fuse box, but that won't be too hard. Guys, so what I'm going to show you next is this is the CPS, which is the cam position sensor. Only GTEs will have this. A GE will normally have their distributor there, where this is located. But as you can see, there's a notch on this bottom gear, and then there's like a hole on this top gear. And this top gear turns, but you want those to line up. And then when you install, you can kind of see through the top, but when you install, you don't want that gear, you can see it in there, you don't want that gear to turn when you install it. And then all you want to do from there is check to see if that bolt hole is in the middle of that little notch. And then you'll just put your bolt in, snug it down, don't tighten it, because when you go to start your car, you want to have it loose because this rotates, and this is what will help you get the car in time if it's, you know, not perfect the first time. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so and that's how you install the CPS. Next on the list is I showed you guys how to install anything like a water pump, thermostat housings, water necks, things like that, and how to do it properly. So basically, I haven't done this one yet, but what you want to do is if you remove these, you want to take a razor blade and take them to both the surfaces to get any of the old gasket off, and then you want to take like not a coarse one, but a soft like Scotch-Brite pad, and kind of clean the surfaces off. And then from there, if it came with the paper gasket, you want to use that. But on top of it, just for extra security and for my sake, I like to use some red RTV, and I use this regardless if it has a paper gasket on it or not. It's high temp, it seals, it works great. I've used it on everything. So all you do with that is you just take a bead of it and you just beat it around your surface, whichever one. You don't want to put it on both because you'll have too much, but either one, and then you'll bolt your whatever your part it is you're putting on, and you'll let it sit for 48 hours, and it'll be good to go. So that's how you install anything that's coolant based. It's kind of the same oil based too, if you're doing like the oil pan or oil pump, or even the valve covers, because these 7Ms need RTV in these corners. And I like to not beat it, but I like to rub some gray or black RTV on these seals to make sure they don't ever leak. But yeah, so that's how you do that. Alright, so this is for all of you people out there who are trying to do an EGR delete. And you can read on the internet, you can look on YouTube, and almost every person you see will either have the engine out or the head off. And they also say you have to have it off to get the EGR plate off the back. I didn't exactly want to do that, nor do I have the cherry picker to do it, and I didn't really feel like removing the head because then I have to replace the gasket and blah blah blah. You know how all that goes. So what I did is I went out and I bought a itty bitty 10mm and an adjustable corresponding ratchet. And basically what this allowed me to do is get back behind the head, because it's back there. Like in a previous, if you want to see where it's at, because you can see it, it's in a previous video of me working on the Supra. But yeah, it's way back there. And what I did is I took this 10mm and I cut it. You don't want to cut it too much because then you won't be able to grip onto the bolt. But I cut it and I was able to get it back there and get all of the bolts out and install the EGR delete plates that you can get from ARZ Performance or Arizona Performance or driftmotion.com. So I'll go ahead and I'll put those links in the description. They are both great sources of parts for the MK3s and MK4s, SCs, etc., etc. But yeah, so that's how you do that. It's super, super simple. This is what it looks like, actually. This is what the EGR plate looks like, and it's literally on the back of the head. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain, but as long as you have some small hands and somebody to help you hold the flashlight, it's doable. But I did it just to prove a point. So yeah, that's how you do that, guys. For any of you guys out there looking how to do that, super, super simple. And just for a little bit of a closer look, you can kind of see it was right where my finger's at. So yeah, super easy. Anybody can do it. Don't listen to what everything the internet says. But yeah, so let's move on to the next thing. Now back to the matter of the fact that this intake manifold has a fat ass hole in it. Well, the first thing you got to think about, where's the metal from the intake when the hole's put in it? Well, I found them the other day. Sadly, I was just kind of looking inside all of my intake ports, and I saw a little piece of metal sitting on top of one of my valves. No biggie, I took it out. There's no like damage done to the valves or anything. So I was like, well shit, what if there's metal inside my cylinders? So I went and got a endoscope, just hooked up to your phone, hooked it up, poked her down in there, and if I can attach the pictures to this video, I will. But regrettably or sadly, there are little pieces of metal from the intake manifold in some of these cylinders, and so as far as I can tell, the pistons themselves don't have any damage on them, and with the pieces of metal being aluminum and as small as they are, I don't think they've done any damage to either the sidewall or the valve, the faces of the valves. So all I got to try and figure out now is how I can get something down there to suck them out, because they're not magnetic because they're aluminum. So that's kind of the shitty part. So right now I'm trying to figure out something small enough that I can get down there, that I can hook up to like a shop vac or whatever and get those pieces out of there. So that's kind of another thing that I'm trying to deal with before I install the spark plugs and the 2JZ coil packs, and obviously the corresponding plugs or plug wires. But yeah, so if you guys have any ideas on that, that would help me out a lot. Yeah, so if you have any clue on what I should do there, just drop me a comment. I'd appreciate it. It's kind of my next step right now. But all that aside, let's move on. Back onto these 2JZ coil packs. If any of you guys out there want to see how to do the 2JZ coil pack conversion, or coil on plug, if you will, drop a comment and I'll show you guys how I did it. It's not hard. As long as you've got the patience to like solder, it shouldn't take you that long, and it's a good and effective mod to do to the 7Ms. They get rid of the big ass bulky packs that the 7M has just sitting on top here, or the GTE anyways. And these are coil on plugs, so they actually sit in the valley and they look way better. But if you guys want to see how to do that, drop a comment. I'd be perfectly happy with working something out and showing you guys how to do it. That's gonna be the end of this video. If it's super short, I apologize. I especially apologize to both Adam and Greg because they put a lot of work into it, into the one that my dumbass got deleted. But it just wasn't gonna be the same without having all the stuff already done. So I did what I could. I hope I helped some of you guys out. If you have any questions, like I said, drop a comment, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. But yeah, guys, so if you enjoyed, like the video, dislike the video, tell me what I can do to improve, subscribe, hit the notifications so you can keep up with my videos, and you guys just keep following your dreams, and I'll see you guys.
No, listen, y'all, these kids want to act up in school, want to go to school and embarrass you, want to make like they got no home training. So I told my son, don't go to school embarrass me no more. I take care of you, son. I give you anything you want. I discipline you. But you're going to embarrass me like this? No, so now I'm going to cut his hair, sit him in school with a bald head.